freeze. So I'm trying to understand, like, does this mean that regardless of the freeze, they can still go ahead to do stuff? Anyway, INEC faces legal heat over missing 55.9 billion naira 2019 election funds. Next up, we have Tinubu can sack me if he desires. That is from the Guardian newspaper, and you already know who said that. You don't? Oh, Wike said that. Next up, we have Osun government dismisses firm's allegation of over 13 billion naira paid to ghost workers. I'm particularly interested in that because I thought that we were done with ghost workers, but seeing that this is happening. Next up, we have in the This Day newspaper, we have Chimamanda serves legal notice over son's death. Sanwo-Olu orders probe. We are going to get into this morning because this is I don't want to say the hottest piece of news because that would be sort of like oh, are we trying to jump on the train? But this is something that also concerns us here at Women Radio. So we're going to get into it with our analyst this morning. Next up, we have federal government targets 189 billion naira in national asset sale to plug 2026 budget funding gaps. Next up, we have in the Daily Trust newspaper, Katsina defends release of 70 bandits. Please, Lord, take that. Those memes they say, oh no, take me away from here. Yes, because what do you mean you're defending the release of 70 bandits? No, I'm not frozen. I'm just like, okay, next up, this one is good news. Still in the Daily Trust, federal government offers scholarships to female medical students, and this is a step in the right direction. Number one is to increase representation, of women in medicine. Is also to make sure that more female students, come into the profession. Like if they're going to sponsor you, then you don't have to say that, oh, you can't go because you cannot afford it, because we know that education is also expensive if we're going to keep it 800. In the Vanguard newspaper, we have from Rivers crisis, why I said dogs are barking, says Fubara. To be honest, everything that I know about Fubara and Wiki especially is against my knowledge, is against my will. But I really thought we were going to be able to avoid this, but look, the Rivers crisis is one of the things that are plaguing us in the polity, and we will talk about it. We have to talk about it. Next up, we have Tinubu broke education pact, abandoned students abroad. Article alleges. Now, abandoning students abroad is not a new phenomenon. I remember there was a particular year where some students were crying from abroad that their fees were not being paid. There was a time where Nigeria was doing a lot of scholarships, especially from the Riverine area, that's River State, Delta State. A lot of students went abroad to study, not masters or undergrad. And there was a particular time where they had left them. I can't remember the year in particular, where some students had come out crying, saying that they hadn't paid their school fees and all of that. So I get that article is talking about this, but it's not a new phenomenon, right? And I would like to say this would be the last we hear about it, but the country we live in, anyway. Plus, life is dynamic in its own way, so you can say hey and then you see that it's happening. Yeah. Moving over to the Premium Times newspaper, we have Nigeria's resident doctors suspend planned strike and they give reasons. This is great news. Next up, we have Nigerian government rules out tolling Third Mainland Bridge. No, what would be the reason why you would want to toll the Third Mainland Bridge? I want them to make it make sense. A major bridge that almost everybody in Lagos, if not all, uses, right? There are two routes to get to the island. You can pass Third Mainland Bridge, you can pass Ikorodu Road and then Marina. But Third Mainland Bridge is always almost free, except for when there's terrible traffic, maybe early mornings or come back from work. But to say you want to toll it, you know what? I feel like every morning I wake up and I see, do you know that thing, 1,000 Ways to Die, that they show on TV? Yeah. That's the only way I can liken this to. In the Nation newspaper, Tinubu arrives Abu Dhabi for Sustainability Week Summit. Next up, we have Kano Governor joins APC Monday. It is well. In the cable newspaper, we have federal government inaugurates 40 billion naira CCTV center on Third Mainland Bridge. Okay, but 40 billion naira. How much are they selling CCTV? Oh, 40 billion naira. Okay. Police arrest three one-chance gang members linked to killing of Abuja lawyer. This is a step in the right direction. This is really, really good, and I'm hoping that the parents of what's her name, Soma? I can't remember. Yeah, that she they get some respite, they get some relief from all these arrests that are happening. In the Daily Post, we have Alami's case, not personal. I inherited his investigation file, says the EFCC chairman. Reverse crisis again, will use our strength to punish people. Wike blows hot. In the Tribune newspaper, we have defections, deaths, court rulings rule out Labour Party in the Senate. Next up in the Tribune newspaper, we have Jonathan arrives Uganda to lead AU election observers. And then finally, in the dailies this morning, we have from the pen pushing newspaper, fire guts free trade zone in Ogun State, consumes nearby houses as police take charge of security. I mean, we've been having fire outbreaks since December, I think. So not just in Lagos, this is Ogun State. I think there was one in Zamfara as well last week. And I'm hoping that this makes Nigerians think that, or the government think that they need to put things in place for, the how proper fire structures, basically, so that when there's a fire outbreak, it shuts it down, as opposed to it's just consuming everywhere. Last up, we have man kills wife, commits suicide 24 hours later. It is well. I don't even know what to say. Yeah, it is well. Okay, we are going to get into the headlines this morning. We are joined by our analyst this morning. Hi, Emmanuel. Good morning.
Hi, Fumi. Good morning. How are you doing this wonderful Monday morning? And trust you had a wonderful weekend.
The weekend was good. It was good. Yes, I had a good weekend. What about you?
Yeah, I did. Thanks be to God who causes us to triumph. I actually did.
Okay.
Another week and new energy, and as we say, we move.
I love it. I love it. I love the energy you're coming with this morning. So we're just going to get into it straight up this morning. And of course, first on the list is something that this happened on Saturday. Like we've been seeing this. No, this didn't happen on Saturday, on the 7th. But over the weekend, we've been seeing conflicting reports, rebuttals from the hospital. Let's just get into it. This one is over on the 7th, Chimamanda, the renowned author, announced the death of her 21-month-old son. And this is so tragic because, and the reason why I feel this a little bit more is because this comes on the heels of the death where Anthony Joshua's death. It's like, so is it that when people come from abroad, this is what happens to them? I mean, I know that this is probably just two isolated incidents, but I think on the flip side is the fact that these deaths, as unfortunate as they are, sad as they are, as tragic as they are raising up dust about many things with regards, our road safety, and then on this other hand, our hospital. Now, Chimamanda is not going to be the first person to come out to say, oh, a hospital killed her son, and that's putting it as, I don't know, as I can. But a lot of Nigerians have also taken to social media to express, their own, to share their own personal experiences of wrong diagnosis, pressured surgeries, different things like that. I'll give you a personal example. About a month ago, I think, in the month of December, my brother was ill. I didn't even know this. I only knew this after. And when he had gone to the hospital they use, he had said they had told him that he had heart issues. And of course, my brother was scared. Like, my brother is what? He's not even up to 40. And he was scared, like, heart issue, but so he didn't even tell me, didn't tell my mom, didn't tell my sister, only told my dad. Then my dad encourages him to speak to one of my uncles, who's also a medical practitioner, only for us to realize that what had happened, because they gave him, he did a lot of tests. The drug they gave him was inside a whole bag. It was a big bag of drugs. They quoted ulcer, they quoted like different things, only for us to realize that. So my brother is a music producer, and most times he's seated upright on his desk. Only for us to realize that, when you're seated in a position for a very long time, it begins to give you either back pain or whatever. So my uncle asked him, where exactly is this pain? Are you sure this pain is not at your back? Do you think it's in your front, in your chest? But tell me, he started searching. They found that it was a back pain that was as a result of him sitting in the same position for extended number of hours. Imagine, and I'm sure there are a lot of people that have people have this same example. Interestingly, I saw someone sent a post as well this morning and said, this is from Josephine Efa Chukuma, also said the same thing about a doctor when her husband was ill, with cancer. Same thing, right? Wrong diagnosis. Unfortunately, in her own case, her husband had passed on. So I think this just begs the question: what exactly is going on in our medical sector? I mean, we know that there are issues there, but what exactly is going on? But then on the flip side, is there a bigger outrage because it is Chimamanda? The same way there was a big outrage when it was Anthony Joshua, right? And then see, I don't know if you saw, I'm sure you did, the response from the Eurocare Center, the hospital, and they said, oh no, 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 no. And then there was another rebuttal by, I think, Chimamanda's sister-in-law, her husband's sister, who's also a doctor, home and abroad. And we're seeing inconsistencies in stories. And then now the governor of Lagos State has gotten involved and he's ordering probe and all of that. So I'm asking two questions. We know that there's an issue with the medical sector. What exactly is it? Is it that the doctors are fatigued? Why is there no proper attention to these things? On the flip side is, or not the flip side, on the other hand is there an outrage because it is Chimamanda? We have lots of people who have lost their family members because of this kind of negligent behavior. Yes, Emmanuel, over to you. Oh, sorry,
Well,
before we go ahead, I wanted to do. I'm so sorry. You can watch us live on YouTube at WFM 917. You can also listen to us on the go, www.wfm917.com. Our phone lines will be open shortly, and then you can call to make your comments and your contributions. Right now, it is 15 minutes to 8 on Women Radio 91.7. Please go ahead, Emmanuel.
the first question I'll answer is there an outrage based on the fact that it's Chimamanda
Mhm,
that is involved? Yes, it is based on that.
mhm,
Because what would have happened if the ordinary bus driver's wife has been what was it called? Has been given wrong diagnosis? What would have happened? Nobody to cry to. He doesn't have a voice. What would have happened to the average Nigerian on the streets? Why this is getting attention is the fact that it is Chimamanda's and
mhm,
is a global voice.
mhm,
And don't forget that her husband is not even a Nigerian citizen. And
mhm,
she is well renowned. She is known all over the world and she has access. So the statement is going to be a long one that was issued by the family and is going to carry a lot of weight around the world. And by the time news agency jumps on this, it's going to be a bad one for Nigeria health sector. So the outrage that we are having at the attention is the fact that this has been happening, but now it has happened to Chimamanda. So that is one of the reasons. That is why she's receiving this attention. So to answer your question, the outrage that we are seeing is because we are having a global voice family and being affected. To the other aspect of the question, see, how did we get here?
mhm,
Years of neglect. How did we get here? Years of government not caring about the basic things that should be done. See, some will argue and say, no, it's a private hospital. But let me tell you that most doctors that function in a private hospital, they also function in most teaching hospitals.
yes.
So what we are seeing is we are seeing results of years of brain drain, years of not taking care of the health sector, years of neglecting a basic aspect of our daily life and thinking that, well, if we go private will make more money and all. But the truth is the manpower needed for private running of health facilities are
Mm-hmm.
also like those who are how will I put it, those who are specialized in particular field of medicine are also coming from most federal medical center or teaching hospital. So when you see a consultant, someone once told a story of going to hospital and being given being diagnosed, and then he wanted second opinion, and then he was referred to another big hospital in Lagos. And then he got there, he said it will take him about 3 weeks to see the consultant. And then he got there, the consultant he met at the first big hospital was the other consultant that he's meeting after 3 weeks at the other hospital. So it shows the fact that we're just having a recycled,
Recycling.
uh, specialized medical practitioners based on brain drain, based on the fact that we've abandoned the health sector for quite a while. And it will get worse if care is not taken. Why do you think your politicians and your political class run to the UK, to Germany, to India for treatments? Why? Who are those who are treating them? If you get to some of these hospitals, you meet Nigerians there who had left the country to go
Yes.
and practice there. And they are
Yes.
good at what they do, because see, there's a system of accountability no matter what happens. Don't forget, one of the first issues we had, was it late last year, was the, I think, death of a lawyer's wife at one of these top hospitals here in Lagos. We doing childbirth and all, and then she died, yeah. And he alleged delay intervention, poor clinical judgment, and failure to refer to a specialist care. And that is lack of accountability. We've seen a whole lot happen. I think we've seen people, if you ask Nigerians to tell you about their story, people that have been given, that has been misdiagnosed at private hospital, some of them have lost their life. I heard about a fashion designer who was told she had cancer, wrong diagnosis. And then after 3 months, discovered it was not cancer. And she had been on chemo. Now, at a very young age, she has entered menopause. Who is going to pay for that? See, these are stories that when we speak of the pain of families who had either lost a loved one or has passed through this. And it's so sad. See, this is what happens when there is no system in place, because every system ought to be built on an existing foundation. And we had a foundation in our healthcare, because as at 1940 something, 1950 something, early 60s, we had even the Crown Prince coming to UCH for treatment. What happened? How did we miss this? I see. When those who manage, go and look at most of the owners of these hospitals and find out who they are, private big hospitals. They are also practitioners in government-owned facilities, top practitioners in government-owned facilities. There is nowhere you can serve Paul and Apollo at the same time. It is not possible. You cannot serve God and Mammon. Your attention will be divided. So this is why sometimes it's hard to even see a specialist unless you are connected, because the man is juggling from 2 or 3 hospitals and he has a schedule. And some of them are even professors, classroom teachers who are doing research and all. So it's actually a very, very critical situation in our health sector. Brain drain, lack of investment by the government, lack of accountability, and then we don't have the number of medical practitioners to help us. So when you look at all these factors that contribute to this are quite much, but over the years we've neglected what we ought to do and we focus on doing what we ought not to do. Because for the political class, they can seek medical attention somewhere else. Now, even look at it, the fact that the likes of the wealthy and the rich have access to private health care and they are still experiencing this. Now, think of an average Nigeria who is at the mercy of NAD, who is at the mercy of, is it Joesu now, who is at the mercy of all these government-owned facility that ought to be affordable to an average Nigeria, and they go on strike. Count the number of times, months, this year, nurses have been on strike. Now, count the number of times. resident doctors have been on strike. They stop one today, and look at what will happen to those who are in those facilities. No doctor to even speak to them. The only thing the nurses can do is, if I've referred to doctor, doctor should minute on this, and there's no doctor in place. If we have a data center that is well equipped and we take data for our development in Nigeria, let's look at the number of people who we have lost to the negligence in our health sector, the mistake, the errors, and you see that the numbers are quite high. If you've been to teaching hospitals, you see this. Sometimes last year, my mom was sick, critically ill, and then we're trying to push her to go to teaching hospital. My dad even spoke to deputy CMD of one of the teaching hospital. I said, why they should bring. My mom was like, if I go, I won't concern has been. If I go with headache, they will give me a foolscap sheet of things that ought not to be mine. That was her concern. And I also echoed that fear because it boils down from the fact that she had lost people who had also just gone in, and then you see them after the diagnosis, you see them running around, and then they ask, what is this? What is this? Nobody is giving account. Nobody's even talking to you. See, I've seen as a young boy in 111 University, I saw the negligence of the health sector. I had a crash when I was leaving school doing exam in my 100 level, and then I was rushed to a teaching hospital. I won't mention the state. And then there, after the surgery and all, I had a wound to my leg, and they kept the wound for 2 days. They didn't dress it up. It took the intervention of the deputy CMD, who my dad taught in school, that saw my dad, rushed down and was like,
why are you here?
And he gave them a matching order to do that. Now imagine I know nobody. And that was the same hospital that I know professors, I know doctors, I know a lot of them were coming. And I was left. Now imagine the driver of that car that I had the crash, I saw the guy was wallowing in pain. Nobody, the guy was even begging that they should give him injection. He wants to die.
Away.
At a very young age, I saw that. So I understand a bit of the negligence that goes on. But it is most times not the fault of these people, because number one is the fact that they are understaffed. They are understaffed. You see the shifts that they are running and the volume of people coming in.
Yeah.
The volume of people that needs medical attention, the volume of people that wants to see doctor, the volume of people in the A&E, the volume of people in the ward, and then you see that the manpower is not there for us. So if this is happening, all the cases I've mentioned, the lawyer in Lagos, the Abuja person that died, see, all this misdiagnosis that is eroding public trust in healthcare is a whole lot. But most times, we have to look at the foundation. Because if the foundation be destroyed, what can the builder do? Nothing. Our foundation in the healthcare, we have to look at it again. See, nothing stops us from starting afresh and adjusting for the future. Nothing stops us. In public hospital, do you have access to dialysis machine? Most no, you have to go to a private hospital. And that is if you are not on queue. So when money, see, that's why I pray that, see, God will not give you temptation that your money cannot solve, because you might have money. And then when you have the temptation, or you have, they call it adowo in Yoruba, you have it, and then money cannot solve it. This is it. There is a place. They say money don't buy happiness. But people will tell you money buy happiness, depending on happiness you are looking for. Not for someone who has been diagnosed and money cannot buy that happiness to bring life back. We need to be factual. It has happened, and our condolences here with the family of Chimamanda. But the truth is, this has to stop. This is getting to be one in too many cases. I remember one in Ibadan where I think November last year, where one Mrs. Otitoju went in before she traveled. She wanted to travel to the US, went in, and they wanted to pick her vein, and then that's how she bled to death.
Yeah.
Just to pick her vein to do tests, and she bled to death. See, apart from the fact that we have good doctors in Nigeria, we have one of the best brain in medicine. Some of them are migrated and we're having brain drain. The rest that are here, they are overly worked. But the new ones that are coming, I keep asking sometimes that how are we going to survive? Because we are in a world now where attention is divided. And then we are having so many media doctors, media practitioners who are doctors. They are media doctors. I call them media doctors. So the trade is changing, though the world is evolving. But there are some professions that are sacred. And medicine is a sacred profession. So what needs to be done? I see the governor saying, oh, this, they will do investigation. What will happen? It will repeat itself. What will happen? See, people are coming out to say stories, and I'm feeling the pains of family who had lost loved ones to affordable deaths. It could be avoided. It's no longer something we need to sit down and then we just gloss over it and be like, oh, it has happened, it has happened. If someone highly placed can experience this, now imagine what average Nigerians
are going through,
are experiencing. Now, if I now speak of average Nigerians, imagine what the 130 million living in multidimensional poverty are experiencing with access to no basic health care or even the primary health care that ought to be a point of call. It's a sad situation.
It really is.
It's a sad situation. And we need to look at the health sector critically. But do we have, as I call it, do we have the balls to look at the health sector critically? Medical error, misdiagnosis, negligence, tied to issues such as hospital equipment gaps, understaffing, brain drain. I've mentioned weak oversight. I was going through X yesterday and I read a story of a guy that said when doing his housemanship, they had this medical CMD that was very good. You don't need to pay for you to get housemanship placement. She will interview you herself. And then she will post you to wherever you can function. He said, do you know what? He said there was no lack of syringe again, gloves, everything was working, no lights, she was building a structure. She said she blocked all the loopholes whereby people steal money. He said, do you know what happened?
They removed her.
He said they went on strike to fight this woman. They had prayer section. They did everything. If you are supporting her, they see you. And then I asked the question that when people say, oh, I keep saying this thing, we are just a corrupt society. And those who are still righteous are righteous because of the fact that they are not part of the system of corruption. And when they are part of the system, they call it grace, that the Lord has elevated me because they are now part of the system. But if the Lord elevates you, he elevates you for a reason. Look at those the Lord elevates, he elevates them and they make a difference. But you get there and then you see the same story. Most Nigerians complain because they are not part of it. And some have spoken about the health sector, and then when they get to be a part of it, they keep quiet. We've lost it in the health sector. A prominent college hospital or teaching hospital the other day, there was blackout for quite a while. Families were bringing generator and all. What happens to babies who are in incubators? A whole lot. Do you know? See, you need to go there to know how it works. You need to go there to know how it works. You need to be inside to see. I have a friend, she's a popular doctor on social media. She speaks and she's a popular. And then She was working with a government agency, government facility. And then she woke up one morning and said she's leaving. And I'm like, why? She said, if she wants to live long with the workload and all, she has to move. That is, he is someone that the line, the dad, a top doctor, the brother, all of them, their family are doctors. And then she
Doctors.
said she had to move. She had to even relocate, leave the town, go to another town to do private practice where she will have peace of mind for her 2 children. This is the workload. We are seeing brain drain, weak oversight. See, the systemic problems that we've seen, that I've mentioned, weak oversight, brain drain, equipment gaps, and all. This creates an environment where wrong diagnoses are improper care becomes a recurring problem.
Yeah. All right.
So what is the governor said they would investigate? How many investigations have we done? See, in Nigeria, I'm not a fan of we would investigate. How many investigations have they done? Investigation in Nigeria is just to douse the tension. At the end of the day, nobody, except you are not connected. If you are not connected and they say they will investigate, you know that you are in trouble.
Yeah.
This is the irony.
All right.
I thought that with Chimamanda's family and all the families that have lost loved ones as a result of medical negligence, we just have to say it.
All right.
I thought that with them.
All right. Thank you so much, Emmanuel. I mean, this is really, we really commiserate with Chimamanda's family and people who, I mean, I'm sure that even on the same day that she lost her son, somebody lost a family member due to this same thing. And our thoughts are with them. What Emmanuel has said, he's opened up the conversation for many things. We're talking about, looking at the nitty-gritty of the medical sector, the health sector. We're looking at, okay, what are the medical standards and protocols, the procedures they are supposed to be following? There's brain drain. This morning, when we were reading the headlines, we said the health workers they put a pause on the suspension. They put a suspension. Is it pause? Yeah, pause on their strike. I mean, I don't think there's any day we come up here at least once in a month and we don't mention, oh, there seems to be strike of health workers in a state or in a zone, and it's just so sad. It's just so sad. And unfortunately that it has to take, a public figure to raise dust. One of the things that our callers would typically say is, oh, if the government was using our facilities, we probably won't be here. I think so. That's a very, very fair estimation of it, but it is well. Anyway, like I said at the beginning of the show, we new year, new us, so we are no longer newspaper review. This is the daily news review of the breakfast show on Women Radio 91.7. The time is 5 minutes past 8 this morning. And my name is Fumi Bangbala. We've been talking with Emmanuel Olunade on the first headline, which is, the sad passing of Chimamanda's son and the conversations that have sprung forth from it. And like you rightly said, Emmanuel, anything we concern investigation count me out, because we know that nothing is going to happen. What we're going to see is somebody will be scapegoated, finished, like in the case of Anthony Joshua and the driver. In this case, the anesthesiologist has been suspended. So we wait to see what will happen after. Time and time again, we see cases of negligence, even schools as well. Nothing happens afterward. A child passes, nobody is scapegoated. They shrug it off like these are not human lives we're talking about, as if you can create a life. But it's okay. The phone lines are now open: 07000 917 09155 you can call our toll-free line 0800 1235 917. You can text or WhatsApp us on 08155 917 917 or 0703 1756 537. We look forward to your comments and to your calls. Okay, let us take this message. Is it still in the Southeast? Says, good morning, WFM. I sympathize with the family of our great sister, Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. John Hopkins University was waiting to receive baby in Kano before Nigerian system killed him. The same Nigeria that happened to Chinua Achebe when he had motor accident in Nigeria by reason of bad roads, which has happened to millions of Nigerians, has now happened to Ngozi, another international figure. From federal establishments to the private sectors, Nigeria, it just says, Jaga, Jaga, everything's that song was banned. So please, next up we have this one from Hayford Osage. He says, "Good morning, Women Radio." I guess that's Mr. Emmanuel talking. Well done, sir. Nigeria's problem is sickness on its own. May God Almighty see each and every one of us through in this country called Nigeria. I say a big amen to your prayer. Okay, let's move to the next headline.
Hello, good morning. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning from me. Good morning, Manuel. Yes, I thank God today. Any day I sleep and wake up, I appreciate God because many don't have that opportunity. And I know one day I also will leave this world. And that's why I always do my own thing in fear of God. Emmanuel, good morning. I quite agree with certain things you have said. But on the area I will disagree with is what you are saying is a personal thing. Women and Rose, as you are there in that station, we see how you people are doing your work wholeheartedly. Nigerians, we are so wicked and corruption is eating deep. Yes, government have their own problem. The systemic problem of that different. But we individuals, we don't have the fear of God. We don't even know whatever we do here on earth. There's somebody somewhere watching. So we must go back to and give account. That's when you are will say anything. If you all can do our work, please tell me a situation that is okay. Tell me. You will let it be passed. My man, take your car to mechanic and say what will happen. Teachers teaching in this private school. When did they leave? When they get to school, did they see those children, see them as if they are their own children, so they pass the exam? Say, go to road safety now. Now we talk about police. Police have their own. Go to road safety. Go to last man. Go every. Sometimes I don't know what. God is watching us. If we all can do the right thing in fear of God, Nigeria will not be. This is a blessed country. What you have, I don't say any country that has what you have. But because of our wickedness, our evil. Yesterday was Sunday. This same corrupt, evil, wicked Nigeria who are not willing to remain, we gather together, say they are praying to God. And according to the scripture, God say, I will turn my back, I will close my ear. The same thing happened when they rose to mosques. God say, before you come to me, learn to do good. After I did that, he said, come. Before you pray, I know why you are praying. I said, if you keep on doing the wrong thing, I pray, God will not hear our prayer. In my mind, I'm telling you, if we all can do the right thing, this country will change. Government has their own problem. We individuals need to change of heart, change of mind. For that new Nigeria we all expecting, we come. Tinubu is not only a problem. We all have a thank God we are pointing it as a corruption. So, Mr. Bell, thank you. God bless you. God bless Nigeria will be great again. We don't ever like it or not. To all do the right thing. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Evangelist Dixon, for your contribution. We truly appreciate it. All right, let's get into the next headline. This one is from the Vanguard newspaper. Rivers crisis. Why I said dogs are barking. This is the Football Wiki. Actually, over the weekend, on Friday to be specific, I think the early hours of Friday, Thursday into Friday, we saw that some of the legislators in Rivers State say they want to impeach. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Hello,
good morning.
Women Radio. Good morning.
Good morning, Can you hear me?
We cannot.
Can you hear me?
Okay, we can hear you now, Mrs. Obuli.
Is it better now? Mr. Good morning. Thank you for
no,
your. Is it better now?
Okay, it's better now. I
can
hear you now. Yes, I can hear you.
All right. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Good morning to Mr. Emmanuel as well. Good morning to our family of the newspaper review. Oh, I think you said you've changed the name. Quickly, let me just chime in before you discuss your. Really okay, fine. Let me chime in quickly here. Regarding the Nigerian medical sector, Mr. Emmanuel has said a whole lot. But the prayer the average Nigerian is praying is that may Nigeria not happen to me. Because, trust me, if you decide to open your phone line this morning and do a vox populi, just do an open mic, the calls you would receive, you'd be amazed. You even outrun your time. People have different stories to tell. I have my own fair share of
Nigerian happening to me regarding the medical sector. And I believe each and every one of us has our own fair share, one way or the other, regarding this issue. But like Mr. Manuel said, how did we get here? We all know how we got here. But how do we get out of this quagmire we found ourselves in the medical sector? Nigeria is the only country where their doctors will go on strike for days, and nothing will be done. Unattended to, nothing will be done. Imagine the medical sector shutting down for just one day in the Western world. Everywhere will be on emergency alert. But no, Nigeria here, nobody will even pay attention to them. And this is where we found ourselves. Those who got it right in the Western world, it's not rocket science. It has to do with years of intentionality, years of commitment, hard work, finance, amongst other things. See, when you pump money or resources and manpower, accurate manpower into the health sector, you will see positive results. When mine happened, who heard my cry? Who listened to me? I was just a lone voice, a voiceless voice in the wilderness. As was even medicine. We bought drugs, and the drugs were just fake. One drug, different drugs, 4 kinds of drugs, had different taste, different flavor, different odor, and it was not here in Nigeria. I was shouting, talking, nobody listened. My husband's brother, the wife lost the baby in a hospital facility due to doctor's misdiagnosis and negligence. He raved and ranted, nobody listened to him. Why is this getting so much attention? Is it because she's a public figure? Of course, yes. But I'm saying, how many lives has to be lost due to wrong diagnosis before we end or nip this in the bud? If you want to talk about your own phone, you get stories to talk. Emmanuel has shared his own this morning. So are the doctors in the private sector, are they imported? The answer is no. It's not the same doctors in the public sector that went ahead to go and open a private hospital. And will the investigation that has been launched, will it resuscitate the lost life? Or how much compensation will be given that can bring back a life? See, I commiserate with the family of the Chimamandas, but this has gained public recognition because of her stance in society. What happens to the market woman, the cobbler on the street, the trader who cannot air his or her own grievances? Enough is enough already. If we must get it right in the medical sector, the time is now. It is either we start acting fast now because of this one, so that we don't lose another life that can never be brought back. Good morning, everyone. God bless you. Have a productive day ahead.
Thank you so much, Mr. Doboli. Very well said. Thank you so much. You gave even more voice to what Emmanuel had said. Thank you so much. Okay, let's get to the next one. I was saying that over the weekend, actually on Friday, we did talk about it on the newspaper review, how this impeachment and stuff, and then we're still seeing like a lot of movement happening in Rivers State. Wiki has finally finished his tour. I didn't even know it was a tour. I thought it was just going up and down. Actually, I knew it was a tour. But now Fubara is speaking a little bit and saying, "Oh, this is how I feel about it." He's saying he's hoping God and all of that. Wiki has also come out to say, if someone wants to sack me, should sack me. That if he feels like I'm not doing anything, if he feels like he cannot get anything from me anymore, then he should come and be going. And then he claimed and asserted that, the reason why he's being talked about a lot is because he's working. If you're not working, they'll not talk about you. Anyway, Emmanuel, the way I want to ask this question is in Yoruba. That's the way it came to me, please. I'm tired.
Wike is fighting for his political survival. Without Rivers, Wike is just like any other politician who will be at the mercy of the president.
Mm-hmm.
When Wike was digging hole in the PDP, some of us were telling him that, see, they said the hand that the banana race is going to use it to beat itself. Something like that. Yeah. So the truth is, when all this were going on, we're like, Wike, PDP is your negotiating power with Bola Ahmed Tinubu. By the time you put PDP in total chaos and PDP is not surviving, there is no soul in PDP, you lose your political value and relevance. And PDP Rivers was your negotiating power. Now, the Fubara you put there, don't forget that Fubara was not meant to be governor. Wike was afraid of other politicians who were in line to succeed him, based on the fact that if you like politicians in Rivers State, once they have the state treasury, they can do and undo. That's why I brought in Fubara.
Well, same for him. The same could be said.
He did the same thing to Amechi. So
yeah,
now
exactly.
You brought in Fubara, and the same Fubara now is not dealing with you. And why Fubara became, see, this ranting with Wike that started around, I think, December 9 or something, was the fact that Fubara left PDP and went to APC.
Yes.
And APC protect their governor. It's going to be very hard for Wike to impeach Fubara now that is in APC. Well, as I've said the other time on this platform, that the APC Progressive Governors Forum, chaired by Opus Odima, would not allow it to happen. They will see that you can do it to other political parties, but if you do it to one of our own, it's sending a bad message out. And with what they've done for Tinubu, bringing in other governors from PDP into the APC, he would not want to sacrifice Fubara. That is the dilemma. See, everything Wike is doing now is I'm playing to the gallery. Remember the time that your husband was asking you out, what he was doing? Any small thing he would talk, headache he would talk, any small thing he would be there. I'm just taking an analogy.
How did we get here, Emmanuel?
I'm just taking an analogy. I can see that on your face. So see, because he wants your attention. Then if you have told him you have to go to the gym morning, afternoon, and evening, he would tell you I've registered. Just because he wants your attention. Everything Wike is doing now is like someone that wants to see prior to 2023 election. Tinubu's camp were the one toasting Wike. Everybody were going to Rivers, Obi to Rivers. The only person that dared Wike, I didn't go to Rivers was Atiku. Obi to Rivers, Kwankwaso to Rivers, Tinubu, everyone Rivers. It was the bride. Now, Tinubu is the bride.
Ooh.
And he has to start to see he's not a governor, he's not. His constituency is, what is it called? The Federal Capital Territory. He left that place for 13 days.
Yes, that's what we said.
During that period, we had one chance operators killing people.
Yes.
We had a whole lot. We had deaths in Abuja, everything. And then he was touring up and down. Why didn't he go to Okpobo? Maybe he went to other local government. He didn't go to one now. See, the way Martins is going, I feel that the speaker himself will later be impeached. Because the tickets, don't forget, the speakers are divided to APC. Their chances of returning lies with APC premise. And if APC premise is being conducted by the National Working Committee, their chances might just go begging. So Fubara made a move that they were not expected him to be there and then see out his tenure and move. And what is causing this fight? Again, you want him to do a new appropriation budget. But the National Assembly passed a budget when we had the sole administrator in place. And you wanted him to pass another budget. And he's saying no. Because he knows the budget you want him to pass. Now, what is paining me with Martins-led house is the fact that maybe they will be the first house in the history of State House of Assembly that will not pass a budget. Their tenure is over. This should be their second to the last budget, 2026 budget. Fubara has not answered them. And you know now, Fubara is not working with governors, so some of them are with Wike and will not side him. Fubara is working with APC. Direct access to the president. And maybe I should just say this. Another fight that Wike has is the fact that the sole administrator was chosen and was not consulted. That was why when the House resumed, then they wanted to pros Iba's regime as the sole administrator. Because it was between some certain power brokers and Wike was left out that recommended and chose for the president. And president accepted their nomination.
Yeah, but it's not like you rightly said, and this
He
was
was
something
he,
that
he was left out and he felt betrayed. So he was waiting to come back and deal with Ibas. And now Ibas is an ambassador. They've cleared him today. So
yes, he's
see,
now an ambassador. Yes.
Wike is a political player, but I think he's losing out stylishly. And what he's doing now is he's fighting for his political survival and relevance. Because when you cannot offer me Rivers State again, the temperature Tinubu will be looking at in Rivers is, are the people with the governor? These are the people that will vote. If they are with the governor without us inducing them, without us bribing them, okay, that means the governor can deliver to us 30% of the votes. That is past the 25% mark that I need in Rivers State.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if he's not looking at it that, can I win it with the governor? If he sees that he cannot win it with the governor, okay, maybe with the governor and Wike I can win it. Tinubu will just broker peace with them. He's a politician. He's fighting for his own.
And that's why each time I ask that, why is the president not doing anything? I think I keep on saying it's either the president knows that it's like you want to eat your cake and have it. You want to eat cake, you know.
All this stuff that Wike is doing. Fubara has been out of the country, just came back for armed forces. Last time he spoke before he left the country, I think he went to meet with some governors, went to meet Tinubu in Paris, was when he spoke that some people that they are back and let them back. And then he came back, he referred to that. See, fear people that are quiet and would not talk, though they might make a lot of mistake. But I think one thing with Wike is he talks too much.
Yes.
And he has spoken. I followed his tour when he's not even Michael Jackson. Even Davido will not tour like that. Or Wizkid.
Please.
I followed his tour. But the truth is, I've never seen him for once spoke about the dividends of democracy while he's fighting the governor.
Mm.
He's not saying that the governor did not deliver on dividends of democracy. His own is that the governor went back on the agreement. Wike, what is the agreement with Similaye Fubuara before he became governor?
Yeah.
His own is the governor went back on the agreement. The governor went back on the agreement. And I asked civil servants the other day, they smiled 100,000 naira bonus for all of them, and even gave us some assembly members that they returned. So, you see, if he's doing what is making the people happy, and you are complaining, that is, see, the problem
is
Fubara delivering dividends of democracy, and is Wike in all his utterances speaking about the fact that Fubara is not delivering the dividends of democracy. Mm-hmm. If that is what he's saying, that Fubara is not performing, there are no new roads in Port Harcourt, healthcare is bad, this is bad, then we can listen to him. Yeah, but you can't just wake up and my problem with media is money, and then you televise live on media, on TV station, because we're all looking for money in media, and then we're hearing band playing. If not, I can't sing. I would have formed a band and leave this job. And start telling. Because I see this is what Nigerian politician likes now. So it's going to be a long drawn battle because Wike is fighting for political survival. And Fubara, as they said, is not releasing money out to anybody. So, and see, one thing is, Tinubu will also be careful because he knows that if Fubara leaves and Martin, Wike's boys, they have access to Rivers Treasury,
it's all over.
They can do and undo on him himself as the president. So it's going to be a long drawn battle, but I think the president will likely keep Fubara till 2027.
And let me know my last is what it is at this point. And I think for me, one of the things that you said, rightly said, which we said on Friday as well, like we were seeing back-to-back one-chance situation, insecurity in Abuja, and then you're in Rivers State, you're touring. Like you left your primary place of assignment to go somewhere else. It's really mind-boggling. And this is, if I'm going to link it to the first headline, it's still negligence because under your watch, right, there's still this is happening. Anyway, we have come to the end of today's segment of the Daily News Review program. Thank you so much, Emmanuel, for coming. Today was very informative. As usual, I mean, you come with your knowledge, you come with everything. We truly, 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 truly appreciate you.
Thank you very much.
9:05 is her land, 10 a.m. is Radio Doctor. Do not go anywhere. This is still Women Radio 91.7 FM. We'll catch you same time tomorrow on Daily News Review on Women Radio 91.7. Many thanks to Miriam in the studio. Many thanks to Ore. Many thanks to everyone who produced us this morning. With that being said, have a lovely day. This is still Women Radio. Don't go anywhere.